Hello there and welcome to my channel. My name is Karen and I'm so happy to have you with me today. I've created this project today for the blog hop with Stencilgirl and Lindy's Stamp Gang. I'm playing with some beautiful sprays from Lindy's Stamp Gang and also some amazing embossing powders, as well as Roxanne Coble stencils, which I am just in love with. The spread I created is definitely not the colours that you would perhaps associate with Roxanne. I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial, so let's get on with it. So this was a page I had already prepped. I had used a yellow, a turquoise and a magenta from Deco Arts Media. These were paints that I'd put on, and over the centre of the page I'd put some gesso just to give me a little bit of an extra background. I'm using the sprays from Lindy Stamp Gang, and I am using High Maintenance Magenta, I love that name, and Tawny Turquoise, just to create some extra background speckles across my page. I love how the shimmer sprays turned out because when they are wet they really don't look like they're going to be causing much of a difference on your page, but when they dry they have this beautiful sheen to them, and it's almost like a petrol kind of colours. There's different textures and different colours within there. So I'm just going to dry off the excess with a heat gun because nobody has time to sit around and wait for paint to dry. So I'm using Roxanne Coble's Rabbit Bunny stencil, and I'm going in here with my smudgy and some Payne's Grey to add in the arm here that she has for her stencil design. I really love this one and I love the way that it turned out. You can add in so many details, which you'll see me doing with my white pen once you've added them in. So I go in and I add two arms in different directions. Just gives my journal page a little bit of interest, and it gives it some visual direction for the eye to look at different areas, and the hands are kind of directing you up the page and across the page. So I'm going in now with some more turquoise because I have the gesso on the page. It's giving it a really nice surface to work upon, and the different layers of paint is meaning that it looks like it's different colours while it's on the page. So I know exactly what's going in here, so you might kind of think, why on earth is she painting in these weird rectangle shapes? You'll see in a moment what I do with them, and I think it turned out really cool. So I'm stamping into these shapes that I created. I'm using a Versamark clear stamp pad, and I'm using the embossing powders from Lindy's, and these are the Neo Graffiti set. They are super bold colours and I'm really in love with them. The stamp that I'm using is one that I made myself from Roxanne Coble's stencil, which is the wolf stencil. So when I saw the eyeball in there I knew that I had to have the reverse as a stamp. So I just traced around the stenciled image and I carved it out of some rubber, and now I have a really cool stamp to use whenever I want to. I like to think at this stage in my crafting career that I've been around the block a little bit, and embossing was one of the first things that I tried, and you know, it's still not lost its charm. It's so exciting to see the powder change. But when I got the embossing powders from Lindy's, I was a little bit concerned because sometimes when you buy embossing powders, the colour can really not translate properly at all, and it kind of looks quite washed out. Well, that was definitely not the case for these neon colours. They're so bright and so vibrant and such a great coverage, so I would highly recommend these. They'll stand out against any colour and just really bold colour choices for that step. So I'm going in now with my Unipol Signal Broad white pen. It's my favourite one to use for white pens, and if you're familiar with Roxanne's work, you definitely should be if you're not, but you'll see that she adds in lots of details, kind of like bones and things to her work. I didn't quite go so far as to add in bones, but I think by adding in the outline of the fingers on the hand here and the little bits of bone that she did have, I thought it turned out really cool. So it's definitely a great place to use the stencils as a block for any of your doodles to work over on top of them. So adding into some more details with another white marker that's one of my favourite. This is the Liquitex Paint marker, so it's a much broader stroke of pen than the Uniballs, but it's really cool because it's outlined these graphic eye designs and really made them pop on the page. So another favourite technique of mine at the moment is to go in with a watercolor marker. These are by Winsor & Newton, and this is Payne's Grey again. And I make some marks, and then I just take a wet paintbrush or one of those water brushes and just go over the top of the marks to dilute them and just create some really yummy texture onto your page. The edges bleed together and create different textures right across the page. So this is one of my favourite things to do at the moment. The watercolor markers are kind of pricey, so I only have 1 or 2 in my collection at the moment, but I'm slowly adding to them, just like I did with my Liquitex paint markers. I just buy one every now and again, and it doesn't seem so expensive. So I'm just going in now with my mechanical pencil and just making some really uneven loose lines so that I can add in a bit of scribbled journaling to my page. I write down whatever thoughts are going through my mind, and I make sure that the lines don't match up, that one line bleeds into the next, and I really exaggerate my loops, my ups and my downs on my letters, just so that it can't be read, and also it doesn't have to make sense for me. It's just kind of a bit of a brain dump. Whatever I'm thinking at the time can be just random thoughts, and I'll add them into the journal page, and then they're out of my brain and on the page. So I hope that you enjoy the tutorial here for the Lindy Stamp Gang and Stencilgirl blog hop. I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, and you'll stick around and watch a few more videos. I have got lots. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching.